Judge Dubose, am I saying your name right?
That's correct, Senator.
Okay. Are you still a Marxist?
Thank you for the question, Senator.
You don't have to thank me. We'll say but you
am
are welcome.
I am not, nor have ever been a Marxist.
Well, you gave an interview in 2000 to the Feminist Press. In fact, you didn't turn it over to us. We had to ask for it. We found it on our own. And you did then turn it over to us. And this is what you were describing your time working in a coffee shop. You said, quote, the kids would come into the cafe all the time. We'd talk about what they're doing. We'd talk about their classes. And I was in my Marxist phase. So you used to be a Marxist, but you're not now?
No, Senator, if I may, the context of the first of that interview, I had no idea that that interview was something that was going to be published. I did an interview with it
Did you mean what you said, whether it was published or not, or whether we'd find it? Trying to understand what you believe. You said I was in my Marxist phase.
Thank you, Senator.
Still in your Marxist phase, or was that in the past?
No, Senator, if I may explain.
Sure.
I was a political science major. When I graduated from college, I immersed myself in a ton of political theory. I read Hobbes, I read Locke, I read Rousseau, I read Marx. I went through a phase where I was into Eastern religion, where I read the Tao Te Ching, the Analects of Confucius. So I suspect, and I don't know that quote with the article, I don't know if she was referring to what I was studying at the time, but as a political science major and as a theorist and someone who was considering teaching a course in political theory, I immersed myself in those things.
But she didn't refer to anything. She meaning, I assume you're referring to the reporter who interviewed. These are your words, and you didn't say I'm in my Hobbes phase. You didn't say second I'm in my Locke phase. You didn't say I'm in my Rousseau phase. You said. I was in my Marxist phase, and my question is real simple. Are you still a Marxist?
Senator, I've never been a Marxist, and I'm not a Marxist today.
Okay. All right. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal bench trial?
No, Senator. With my experience as both a state prosecutor, as an in-house counsel at Schneider Electric, doing very complex compliance and regulatory work, and my work as a district court sitting judge, handling general jurisdiction.
Yes, ma'am. I've read your resume. I just want to get through these questions. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal jury trial?
No, Senator, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever attended a federal jury trial?
No, Senator.
It live?
No. No, Senator.
Have you ever watched a federal jury trial on TV?
I don't believe that federal trials are televised, so no, I have not, Senator.
Have you ever watched any trial on television?
Senator, I handle and preside over trials every single day as a state district court judge. We follow the rules of evidence, criminal procedure, civil procedure. So I feel that with my experience, that I am well suited and capable to make the transition from our state district court to our U.S. District Court.
Okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of evidence?
No, Senator. As a state prosecutor...
I'm sorry, you said what?
I said no, Senator.
No, okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of civil procedure?
Well, I believe that there were times at Schneider Electric giving advice to business units regarding the federal acquisition regulations, that I would draft briefs to give them counsel as to how to be compliant with the federal rules. So in that respect, the answer would be yes.
Okay. What's an interpleader action?
Interpleader action is a third party who's going to intervene in a civil suit. They're not a primary party.
Okay. What's voir dire?
Voir dire is the process with which jurors are questioned by the state and by defense and prosecutors to serve on a panel.
Have you ever conducted a voir dire in federal court?
Not in federal court.
Okay. I'm going to yield back 6 seconds, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Whitehouse.
Just to clarify the record, Judge Dubose, do you recall when that interview was done, the interview that Senator Kennedy referred to?
No, Senator, I don't. And if I recall, and I was brought to my attention yesterday, that was never an interview that I did that I thought was going to be published. I never reviewed it. I didn't. It was an undergrad student who was interested in teaching, who spent 20
What
minutes.
were you doing at the time?
I was teaching.
So this was before you even went to law school. This was
Yeah, I was
many years ago.
It was, Senator.
Perhaps during the time when my colleague Senator Kennedy was a Democrat. Showing that people can change their views, even if it were true that you were then in a Marxist phase.
Senator Graham?
Mr. Chairman, my name was invoked.
I noticed.
As a proud Democrat, we were like
My
that part of
name
your
was
history.
invoked, Mr. Chairman. Now, I just want to let the record reflect, and I love Senator Whitehouse.
Uh-oh.
But I'll tell you one thing, I've never been a Marxist. I've never been a Marxist. And I've never admitted I was a Marxist and then not turned the document over to this committee. We had to find it. And we did. And now the testimony under oath today is, I didn't say that. The reporter said that. No, the witness said that. And then the testimony is, well, I didn't mean it to become public. That's not the issue. So, if we won't get personal here, we can.
Senator Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to each of you. Judge Saporito,
Yes.
you and Senator Casey went to high school together?
Yes, we did, Senator.
Did you ever see Senator Casey try to sneak a beer past Jesus in high school?
I never saw that, Senator.
Oh, okay. Wise answer. Judge Vaca, you are a member of an organization called the National Association Pacific American Bar Association, are you not?
I was, Senator. My membership lapsed at the beginning of this year, but I was a member for 2 years.
Well, my record shows you were a member for 22 years.
Senator, that was a mistake, and I actually sent a letter after I saw that mistake to the committee, so it was 2 years.
Okay. And I'll call it the NAP-ABA, is that the correct acronym?
I think NAPABA.
NAPABA?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And NAPABA is funded by Mr. George Soros, is it not?
Senator, I'm not familiar with the funding. I was a member and I paid the dues, but I had no contact with any of the members there, and so that's why I let my membership lapse.
Well, its website says that it's funded by the Open Society Foundations, which are founded by Mr. George Soros. Now, NAPABA in March of 2023, while you were still a member, NAPABA issued a statement, and it said that it supports allowing transgender and intersex girls and women to participate in all sports. Is that correct?
Senator, I'm not familiar with NAPABA's statement, so I'll take your word for it.
You didn't know anything about that?
No, Senator, I joined the organization because I thought it would give me a community of other Asian American attorneys and judges, but I didn't have any interaction with anyone in the group. I didn't attend any meetings or vote, and so I'm not aware of that statement or any of other statements made by NAPABA.
So this is all an epiphany to you. Is that right?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. NAPABA also issued a statement that said the following. It supports state and local governmental entities that choose not to honor ICE detainer requests and that do also decline to detain individuals solely on the basis of an ICE detainer request. So NAPABA opposes supporting ICE. Is that correct?
From what you just read, Senator, I guess I haven't read that statement, but I can tell you, Senator, that I don't ascribe to any of those statements that you just read to me.
Okay. Judge, in October of 2020, you ran for judge. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And on a talk radio interview, here's what you said. I'm going to quote.
Okay.
It's okay. We also need to recognize the effects of racism on our criminal justice system. Institutional racism impacts all of society. I think that is amplified in our criminal justice system. We see that in the disproportionate number of black men and women being incarcerated and convicted, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Senator, I haven't listened to that particular show, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, okay. What do you think our criminal justice system is institutionally racist, do you?
Senator, I don't believe that our court system, by its nature, is racist.
Why did you say this then?
Well, what I meant by that was that I believe there are racial disparities in our communities.
Yeah, but that's not, we both know there's racism in every society, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But that's not what you said. You said the criminal justice system is not just racist, it's institutionally racist. And then you said that, I'm going to quote your words, not mine, the disproportionate number of black men and women incarcerated and convicted are because of race. Did you say that?
Senator, what I was talking about was the racial disparities in...
And you said it solely has to do with the color of a person's skin. You really believe that, Judge?
Well, no, Senator, I don't believe that at all.
Why did you say it? You said it, you were running for judge, you said it in front of God and country on a live.
What I said, Senator, was that I recognize that racial disparities in our community can influence rates of incarceration.
That's not what you said. You're a political activist, aren't you, Judge?
No, not at all, Senator.
Yeah. Okay, I'm over. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.